the patriarchy is a system of shared concepts. In the 1800s, the shared concept was women shouldn't vote, women shouldn't be educated. That shared concept was the patriarchy expressing itself. Some things have changed, some things have not. Some people still think women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Some people think women should not hold political office or be educated. They should be subservient to their man. The Southern Baptist Convention believes that the female must be subservient to the male in all things, and that is why they allow marital rape. White male supremacy was the dominating force of the 1800s and 2/3 of the 1900s. The effects of white male supremacy still exist today. They have been hacked at. They have been chopped at. There was the Civil Rights Act of 50 years ago, which now they're trying to take back. White male supremacists. They are the enemy of civilization. They are the barbarians inside the gate. Those who would advocate a matriarchy replace the patriarchy are just as wrong. What needs to happen is equality. The patriarchy is just a system of shared concepts through which the metaphysical context is manipulated. Simple as that. You can't say it doesn't exist because there's no high council of the patriarchy sitting there dictating how it doesn't work that way. Patriarchy is a response. It's a response to repression of the goddess in the first place, and a response to thousands of years of history that flow from that. So now we have a state where feminism is thought of as a bad thing, when feminism should only be redressing of inequality. And rape culture flows from the patriarchy. You know, women really want sex, but they won't tell you that they want sex, so you know, you're really doing them a favor when you rape them, is a standard patriarchal principle. You know, one created the other. And to deny their existence perpetuates. Unfortunately, through history, we see a lot of pendulum swings too far in the other direction. The response to repression for thousands of years of the Chinese people was not democracy, but communism, because that was a radical alternative to what existed. There are militant feminists out there. They give the entire cause of feminism a bad name. They cause people who accept the principles of equal treatment under the law to say they are not feminists. Well, they are not what some people who claim the label of feminists are. Sure, they are not that, but that does not mean they are not feminists. It means feminazis is a term that I believe Rush Limbaugh uses. That's the deal. Feminazis are awful. Feminists are not. And to brand all feminists as feminazis is as bad as blaming all men for those who rape. Can't have it both ways. Denying the patriarchy exists and denying that rape culture exists is just what we need to perpetuate patriarchy and rape culture. Until those effects of the manipulation of metaphysical context through the label of patriarchy are addressed, we cannot make progress. Feminazis are not in charge of defining what feminism is. They are also not the sole proprietors of the label. The patriarchy says, in essence, men good, women bad. You know, however you want to modify those labels. Men superior, women inferior. That is the patriarchy. Marketers are manipulating the metaphysical context all the time. They know exactly how to do it. When anyone manipulates your emotions, they're modifying the metaphysical context. You know, some people call that magic. Some people call it biochemistry. Again, getting caught up in labels when the labels are irrelevant. Because a feminazi blames something on the patriarchy, just because a feminazi blames something on the patriarchy doesn't mean it isn't true. If you reject the information because of the source, you will lose a lot of information. I hate to give up the Gloria Steinem feminism just because what a few people have made it into. Because it did some good and it made the right points and it was necessary at the time. And we have not made enough progress toward equality. And some forces are actively working against equality because they do not believe it is right. Their God told them man is superior to women. Well, their God's a motherfucking liar. Check his book. You'll see. The Abrahamic religions source from Yahweh. 7,000 BC, Yahweh had a wife. Suddenly, she disappears. No one was looking out the rear window, I guess. But suddenly, it became okay to treat women like shit. Only to become more institutionalized 7,000 years later. Among the Abrahamic religions. And of course, the worst example of patriarchy existing in the world today, the extreme example, is ISIL. Fuck. You know? That is the extreme example of the patriarchy today, and that is what they do, is cut off people's heads and rape women as a, regular course of the day activity. That is the Abrahamic religions carried to extreme. Their lack of the goddess is the primary flaw of that religious tree. That and insisting that their God is the only God. Their God doesn't want you to believe in any other gods. Thou shalt have no other God before me. That kind of says there's other gods right there, doesn't it? Think so. And anyone who wants to start arguing translations, well, you go back to the Aramaic and you tell me what really happened. And you tell me what happened in those books that they didn't put in the Bible because it didn't fit with their agenda. Some truth exists in the Bible. The truth is not all there. Simple as that. And if your religion requires you to hold certain beliefs, there's something wrong with your religion. And if your religion requires you to hold certain beliefs, there's something wrong with your religion. And if you really want to piss a fundamentalist off, tell him George Washington was not a Christian. That seems to incite quite a bit of rage in them, in my experience. It's also called denial, because George Washington was a deist, not a Christian. And Jesus did not give us America. The goddess did. Freemasons kept the goddess principle alive when the Christian church tried to suppress it by killing anyone who said they believed in the goddess. That can be effective at keeping the talk down, but it can't kill the idea. It just makes people go in secret. So whenever you see feminism or feminist in one of my tweets, it's not the feminism is awful that people oppose. It is equal treatment under the law. That is what a true feminist believes in, and anyone who opposes equal treatment under the law or special treatment for one gender or another is not a feminist. Feminazi, yes. Feminist, no. Feminazis get all the attention, so true feminists reject the name feminist. What a world! What a world! I'm sure they would reject the term feminazi. Okay, you know, that's what they are. But connotations, Nazi, never going to be good. Militant feminist is too long. Radical feminist is too long. How about feminates? There's feminists and feminates, and that's what the feminazis are. So next time I get a chance, I'll have to start a hashtag feminates. And they can say any damn bullshit they want, but either sex having a prejudiced attitude toward the other sex is sexist. Just like any race having a prejudice against another race is racist, if only in attitude. Racism is dividing the human race into separate camps. Sexism is dividing human beings into separate genders. It's all about division, divide, and conquer. There's only one race, the human race. And gender doesn't matter, no matter which of the 8 genders you are. And anyone who makes a judgment based on gender is being sexist. A human being who makes a judgment of another human being based solely on their perceived gender is sexist. I don't give a damn what anybody else says. I do not give a damn that someone says women can't be sexist toward men and blacks can't be racist toward whites. It's a stupid argument made by stupid people to distract from reality. Because of what the Abrahamic religions have done to the concept of religion, people are rejecting the concept of religion altogether. They do not own the patent. They do not hold all the rights to religion. They have a branch of religions. They have their interpretation of how to manipulate the metaphysical context. It is not the only one. It is not the correct one, because there is no correct system. There is no one true God. There is no one true religion. Religion comes from within, not from without. Your religion is how you place yourself in the universe. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What is life all about? Most people try and answer those questions. The ones that just say, there's no way you can figure that out, so I don't care. The ones who try and figure it out, what they figure out is their religion. Comes from within, not from without. And you can find other people that agree with you, agree with your conclusions. You can form a group that has the same religion. By rejecting the concept of religion altogether, you just take the easy way out, the lazy way out. Well, that's fine. Whatever works for you. You know, everybody's here to learn to choose love over fear. If you don't get it this time, you'll have another chance next time, and another chance after that, and another one after that. Saying and thinking that's just the way things are is what keeps things that way. And I'm sorry I didn't do this in a series of tweets, but frankly my fingers would get tired. So what the hell? We'll put it up this way. That way I don't have to remember it till I get back home from downtown. So this has been a video installment of the Church of All Gods Radio Hour. I am the Shaman, and you can check us out on Podbean. And don't forget, free Leonard Peltier.